everybody. I am so happy to be back here planning with all of you. I just love it. It makes my heart so happy. I don't know. I mean, I do know why I stayed away so long, but I feel like we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. But today we are going to do some planning, and we're going to be planning for the week before Go Wild. I cannot believe that we're finally here, and you're prepared to be sick of me talking about Go Wild this week and leading up to it. I'm sorry, I just am too excited, and there's too many things. So this is now a Go Wild Stan account, so for the next few weeks. So if that is not your jam, I greatly apologize. But today, for this week, we are going to be using the new Squad Girls or Squad Goals sticker book. I recently refound this one. Isn't it funny how that happens? And then I also found Planner Babe with some fun yellow stuff in here and some disc stickers. So I thought those would go really well together. Of course, we have to have colorful boxes just because we need that in our life. And then I also picked this up recently, and it's got some fun colors that we might be able to use in here. All of that good stuff. So we'll just see how this turns out. It could be really rough because it's been a while, but we'll just go with it. So we are finally, oh my gosh, I can't believe I waited this long. We are finally in the dashboard planner with the long checklist, and I don't think I could be more excited. We're just gonna take off our little handy dandy friend here, but I'm so excited. I actually like the categories here that they have already implemented. So they have tasks, notes, looking ahead, and important. Like, I feel like that works really well for me. I don't need to divide it up into work tasks, that kind of thing. I don't need to do that. I think that works really well. So I'm actually just gonna leave the categories alone. But if you are someone who wants to change them up, that is always an option for you to do as well. So, okay, first things first, I love to put a header right here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I will start with Squad Goals and see. I know some people really like the flipping of the sticker books and some people don't. The jury is still out on that, I suppose. This could be cute with the girls, like right here. I think that could be really cute. Maybe this one, since it's got like all of them. Okay, let's see. Let's just see how well that fits. I think it's gonna fit perfectly. Yeah, perfect. Oh my gosh, that is stinking adorable. And I chose to go with Squad Goals because I cannot wait to be with my planner people again. And if I'm gonna see you there, please come up and say hello to me. I cannot wait, literally cannot wait to see all of your beautiful faces. Oh, I had a list of everything that I was gonna do this week. Where did I put that? Pause, please. Found it. So just backing up a little bit. So I pre-plan out everything when I'm doing these videos. So this is like breaking the fourth wall for you. So this is like everything that I have to do this week. And then I'm also going to do my March monthly, and that video will come out. So that happens because everything lives right in here. Everything lives in this little friend because I share a digital calendar with my husband. So anytime something gets planned, it gets plugged into our digital calendar first, and then I take it out and put it in my own planner because I am a paper planner girl for life. Okay, so let's see. The 20th is a no school day for my kiddos. Oh my gosh. So here in the US, it is President's Day. So it is a no school day. And so yeah, that is that. So we're gonna take this cute little floral sticker, and then we're gonna layer a box on top of it, I think, is what I would like to do. I was going to put something with like the girls over here, but I don't want to put too many girls in one spot and then not have any left over to use on like the dashboard side. Okay, and then I haven't even really looked at this sticker book. I feel like I am looking at this at the same time as you all. Oh my gosh, these little Squad Girls florals are stinking adorable. I love them. Okay, let's see. Chill day, probably not when the kids are home. I love my kids, but they keep me busy, that's for sure. So as I'm looking for this, let's talk about why most of you are here. Just kidding. So, but maybe not. It's totally fine if you're here to hear where I was, because that just means that you care and I love it. So I've been gone for a bit, not as of recent. I'm, kind of back. I'm back, I would say. I'm definitely back. But for a while there, not so much back. Let's just go ahead and go back to like the end of the summer. The end of the summer, I was preparing for my kids to go back to school. And I think we talked about that in a previous video. I'm actually going to grab, I have some Mojo Jojo stickers over here. Her functional boxes are amazing. She was kind enough to send me her rainbow set, so I have them in like every color. If you guys could see me right now, I have literally a leaning tower of planners. Need to clean up this office. But anyway, okay, so end of summer, I was preparing for my kids to go back to school, and you know, there was just a lot happening. I was transitioning. I was just a few months in actually to my new job, which I'm still at, still loving. It's great, but there was like a lot going on in our life. I was busy. And I really wanted to be here on YouTube, and I kept like pushing through. So I was staying up really late. I was up probably later than I should have been. Like, we're talking like 1 a.m. because I was not like filming ahead like I normally do. I was kind of, I guess I was filming like same day. And if you are someone who makes or has ever made planner videos or any kind of videos for that matter, planning ahead is the way to go. It's hard to film a video and then turn around and edit it the same day. But I wanted to be here, and I'm kind of a stubborn person. And so, you know, I was like, okay, I am going to be here. I'm going to do all the things. I am going to, you know, keep this going as long as I can, no matter what the cost, basically. So I was of the mentality that I was not in my mid-30s, and my body decided to tell me otherwise. When was that? Probably late September. I started experiencing like weird headaches, and I had been like trying to figure out what was going on. So I had just like these really strange headaches that would last for a really long time. Like I was an Excedrin migraine lover. Like I thought that was my like magic headache remedy for a long time, and it was not working. Like it was just not even touching the headache. Like it was still there, and I was like, that is so weird. I was really into kombucha. I've talked about this before, as well as I was probably consuming way too much caffeine because I was trying to, as the saying goes, burn the candle at both ends. So trying to be everything for everyone and just, you know, not really taking care of myself. I'm pretty sure a lot of primary parents can relate to that, but definitely not taking care of myself at all. Let's see, where were we? Okay, so not taking care of myself, crazy headaches, and so I started to kind of go into panic mode. And I was like, you know, this has been going on for a really long time. I should probably like do something. And I believe like, okay, it's been a while now, but I believe that there had been a day or something that had happened where it like reached a breaking point basically, and I was no longer able to cope. I was no longer able to like even function because I had been in pain for so long. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something about this. And it was the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep. I was actually like sleeping on the sofa because it was just, I was tossing and turning and didn't want to keep Brian up all night. So I had been sleeping on the sofa for a while, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the ER. I can't even function. And so I go there, and no, actually first I went to urgent care. I didn't go to the ER first. So I went to urgent care, and I think I shared it on my stories, so some of you may have seen that. But I went there, and they basically were like, okay, well, we can't really find anything wrong with you like right this moment, but we are gonna send you in for like an MRI basically. And they told me that, you know, the way that I was describing it, it could be something scary or it could be nothing. And if you guys know me, you know that I am an anxious little person, and that was not probably the right way to tell it to me, but it was fine. It ended up being fine. But anyway, I was so worried that something was wrong and all of that, but I ended up, let's see, so I had an MRI scheduled for the next week is how it ended up. But what was it? Okay, so it got better a little bit the next day. And then the day after that, it's hard to recall all of the details because it's been so long, but the day after that, it just got crazy bad again. And so I ended up going to the ER, and they did like, I think it was a CAT scan, not an MRI, because they wanted to rule out whether it was like a blood clot or not. And I was actually trying to talk them out of it. I was so anxious at this time. I was like, I don't even want to know. I was hoping that they could like just give me like a, I don't know, like some kind of medication to make it go away, and like pain medication basically. I was like, can we just do that instead and not have like not get so much information? I'm again very anxious person, and I was like, I don't really want to know. Part of me was like, I don't want to know, but the other part of me was like, we probably should know like what's going on. And so I ended up having a CT scan that night, and everything looked normal. So I was not at risk for like a blood clot or anything like that, which was great. I went home, and that night, okay, so before that I had been drinking kombucha like kind of around the clock because my head was hurting and my stomach was upset. And for me, kombucha has always been really soothing. However, it also has caffeine in it, which I don't know how I did not put two and two together, that it was tea and that it had caffeine, but I didn't. And so I just kept plugging along, drinking the kombucha with the caffeine in it, and it ended up just not being very good. I ended up, well, realizing or trying to figure out like on my own what was causing it. So I went to my acupuncturist, who's amazing. Her name is Julia. She's wonderful. If you're in the Portland area, it's called Pathfinder Wellness. You should definitely check them out. But it was, okay, so then I was trying to figure out what was going on like with my diet. And so I cut out like stevia because I had researched that stevia had caused migraines for some people. And then what else did I do? Oh, then I figured out that night after not drinking the kombucha that kombucha has caffeine, and maybe I'm like overdoing it on the caffeine. So I did like a full detox on the caffeine. I am no longer a caffeine drinker at all. Anything I get is like either one tea like once a week, and that has like very minimal caffeine, so like a chai tea frappuccino, very minimal, or like none at all. So I'll get like decaf, that kind of thing. So I've basically cut that out of my life, and once I cut caffeine out, things really started to turn around for me. So I started to feel so much better, honestly. I don't know if I was overdoing it on the caffeine. I don't know if it's like a trigger for me with migraines. I don't really have all of that information necessarily, but I just know that I was not feeling good at all, and now I'm feeling better. And so I'm not really willing to risk it to go back to drinking caffeine again. So long story short, the migraines were crazy, and I was dealing with those for like months. I couldn't even keep my eyes open. That was the biggest reason why I left YouTube so abruptly. I could not even function, you guys, like, and I felt so bad because people were messaging me and saying, oh, where are you? I've really been missing your videos. You were absent like a couple of months before, and you know, we really are missing you. And I just felt so bad because I couldn't. There was no way that I could look at a camera, look at a paper. Planning was out the window, which was kind of a bummer because I had almost made it with a completed planner, and I just felt so bad that I wasn't able to be here. So then, okay, then what happened? Then in like November was pretty busy. It was my 15-year-old's birthday. Oh, and I think we just had like a lot of struggles with my daughter with like teenage stuff and transitioning to high school and that kind of thing, which is fine. You know, I was happy to support her, but there was no way that I was going to be able to do that and like be there for her and do YouTube. Like, you know, my family always comes first. So that happened. And then, okay, let me just look at okay, I think we have everything on here functionally that I need. This is going to still be YouTube videos, that kind of thing. Okay, perfect. So we were doing that, and it was her birthday. So we were trying to plan. She wanted to take some of her friends to the mall, and she was getting a little bit stressed because people weren't getting back to her. And then I was kind of on the receiving end of some of the sass, which again, we worked through and is totally fine and normal and whatever, but it was just a lot. Like there was just a lot going on. And then we get to December, and I'm like, okay, I am getting back in my planner. Like it is happening. Like this is going down. And then over Christmas break, my kids and my family got COVID, which I feel like so many people have gotten COVID. And not only did my family get it, so the way that this happened was we are still having our kids wear masks to school. Believe that my oldest was not a fan of wearing the mask at school, and so she basically had stopped wearing it, which we were not super happy about. But she was the first one to get symptoms, and I, in denial, was like, it's just a cold, like, you're fine. And that kind of thing. And then I was like, oh, and then she started sleeping for like hours on end. And that is unusual for my kids with a cold. Usually they can bounce pretty quickly right back. When that happened, I was like, okay, there is something else going on here, and I definitely need to figure this out. We did figure it out. I tested myself first just because I didn't want to worry people unnecessarily if it ended up being nothing. So I tested me, and then I came back positive, and then, we all ended up testing positive. So our experience with COVID was pretty mild. I would say we had basically flu-like symptoms. I did not have a fever. My husband had a pretty gnarly fever, but usually when he gets sick, that's kind of his normal. Both of my kids bounced back pretty quickly. No one has had any long-term symptoms that we know of. And then, okay, so the way that it worked, my daughter also went over to my parents' house that same week that she was sick. And, we did all the things. We asked them, we're like, are you sure you want her to come over? Like, she's not feeling well. And she must have really wanted to see them because she, with COVID, and I know how it feels now, having had it, got on her bike and rode all the way over to my parents', which is not that far. It's for her, it's probably like a 10-minute bike ride, and she's pretty used to riding her bike. But doing that sick, man, she's a tough cookie. She ended up going over to my parents. It took like a full 2 weeks though, but my parents ended up testing positive. My mom is vaccinated and my dad is not. My dad has had a significantly harder time and has some other stuff going on after COVID, which hopefully will resolve soon. And then, okay, so then my 90-year-old granddad also got it, and he ended up being asymptomatic and totally fine, which is amazing because he was the one that I was most worried about when I heard that he ended up getting it. So far, so good. We're thankful that everything was mild, but that was another thing. That was another kind of like roadblock. And then what else? Okay, and then January came and I was like, things are kind of starting to settle down and all of that. And then I can't remember what happened there, but there was something else that happened in January. Oh, our car got hit and run in January. It was parked outside of our house on the street. Definitely should have been parked in the driveway. Like, hindsight is definitely 2020. But somebody just came by and like sideswiped the side of our car. So we've been dealing with that in January. We also had to postpone our Christmas celebration with my parents because of the COVID stuff. So we just now on the 19th of January ended up celebrating with them. So we had to plan that and postpone, and because my mom had like a Christmas Eve dinner planned, and so we postponed once because we got sick. And then she ended up postponing again when they got sick because it was a full 2 weeks after we got it that they ended up not being well. So yeah, that has all been going on, and that has kind of taken me away from planner land. I am so excited and so ready to be back and be here and do all of the things and make all of the plans. I definitely I knew that I wanted to vlog Go Wild, so I knew that I would at least return then, but I also really wanted to get this channel up and going again. So here we are. And I think this is going to be really it for now. So let me go ahead and pause right here, and then we will do some pen, and then I will talk to you guys in the end.
Right now I'm standing in a corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here, but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing, oh, everybody's singing, oh. I don't know what it is about you. It must be Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love, baby, let me love you. Just say the word and we can leave this place. I'll take you anywhere you want.
Okay, so I think that is it. I actually added another little section here. You probably saw me do that, but I realized this said looking ahead and 2 days. So we leave on Tuesday for Go Wild, which is super exciting. So it'll be coming up quick. So this is like full on prep mode week. So doing all of the laundry, buying all the last minute things, packing. I am the worst last minute packer. Let me know if you are also a last minute packer. But yeah, I definitely am. So this is my spread for this week and I'm really excited with how it turned out. It's so cute and it's so good to have something in my planner. I hope that you guys have been enjoying all of the Go Wild content and I promise I'll just be talking about life and plans and that kind of thing soon. Hopefully I'll have some updates on and some information about the upcoming release. I think the 18-month Happy Planner release comes up around this time of year, March, somewhere between March to May. I've also seen some like rebrand stuff for the Happy Planner, so I will keep you guys all posted as to what I see. I'm also planning on trying out some other disc systems, so if you guys would like to see that here, let me know. I just have all of the plans and all of the things for this channel, so thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, hello, my name is Caitlin, and I would love it if you would hit that red subscribe button down below and go ahead and follow along as I get back into planning and all of that good stuff. So thanks again for being here. If you are one of my current followers, current friends, all of that good stuff, please go ahead and remember that you are the best. You are my favorite people in the entire world and you are the reason for this channel. So thank you so much for being here. And if you'd like to find me anywhere else, you can find me on Instagram as well as on the Spice Chaos podcast, which launches the following week. So we're going to be launching during the 7th. So we have just a few days. I hope by the time that you see this video, we will have recorded the episode, which is wonderful. So get ready if you have missed the podcast. I'm excited to talk to you guys there as well. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it. So by the way, you guys, have fun today.